everybody? Welcome to the show, or welcome back to the show. Welcome to the Genre of Your Life podcast. I am one of your hosts, Doug Jones, one of the founders here at Midway Productions, also producer, writer of the show as well. With me, as always, one of my co-founders, one of the best dudes in the business, writer, producer, co-founder, director, Mr. Nick Johnson. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing good, man. Super happy to be here. Highlight of the week right now.
Oh, amen to that, brother. Amen to that. We got a lot of news going on, man. I mean, you sent me the Tarantino stuff. Shazam came out and apparently flopped.
Bro. Did you see Shazam yet?
I did. Did you?
You did see it?
I saw it last night. Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet, but I did see like a breakdown of the end credit scenes though.
Okay, I'm gonna keep it a non-spoiler for everyone down the road. But I have some thoughts. I will say that I have some thoughts, and I kind of think I'm in the majority of the people when they think about this movie. But first off, hey, again, welcome everybody. Again, episode number 10. We are now in the double digit numbers. This is Nick's favorite number 10. So you know it's gonna be a good episode. Episode number 10. Thank you guys for supporting the show, watching the show. It means a lot to us, all of us here. Again, a little housewarming as we go on. Housekeeping, that is. You can find the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music. We're also on, again, you can find us anywhere on those major audio and podcast platforms. And if you want to find the show, you can find us at Midway Avenue Productions on Instagram, as well as TikTok now. I've been doing a lot more TikTok, trying to figure out how to do like the short form videos and reviews and more marketing for the show. So again, at Midway Avenue Productions on TikTok and Instagram. Might be doing a Twitter soon, but yeah, we'll see. But also, again, we also have a website. We are midwayavenueproductions.com. We have reviews from both Nick, myself, Joel, who we are as a company, as the show. Again, links to our social medias and LinkedIn. You want to connect us with us there. My email's on there as well. Again, you can find us on all major audio and podcast platforms, as well as all major, again, Instagram and TikTok. Again, follow the show there. Yeah, like I said, so first off, yes, Shazam. So I think you and I both liked Shazam for what it was back in 2019, but we didn't think it was like anything like groundbreaking, right? I feel like you and I both kind of like had the same, like, yeah, it was cool, but it wasn't anything like, oh, amazing. It was just another decent DC entry.
Yeah, it seemed like okay, so I'm gonna say it like this. I don't mean any disrespect to like anybody when I say this, but after I think it kind of, for me, it started with like the first Wonder Woman movie. I noticed there was a slight, and pardon me, everybody, I'm a little sick. I might sound a little congested or whatever, but I'm gonna try to power through this. But with like the first Wonder Woman movie and then like Aquaman, I noticed the DC movies tonally, they just felt a little bit definitely with the 2017 Justice League movie, but they felt just a little bit lighter in tone, and they felt like they were fun. Like Wonder Woman and Aquaman, love those movies, but I miss the kind of more hardcore, more visceral, kind of gritty feeling that Man of Steel and BVS and the Suicide Squad, but the David Ayer's Suicide Squad had. So, and I saw Shazam, and it was fine. I like the message about family and all of that stuff, but overall, it was like I guess I can't really reconcile like this really goofy character in the form of Billy Batson's Shazam exists in the same universe that Henry Cavill's Superman and Ben Affleck's Batman from BVS exist in, because it's like I get everybody's like universe and everybody's like stories and everybody's perspectives are all going to be different, but it's like it's too weird, because also in the first Shazam movie they have they had Batman merchandise in the store, so it's little stuff like that. I'm like, I'm not really feeling it. And then it was overall like it was fine. It was probably like a low C for me. Just tonally, it was very just kind of like middle of the road. It wasn't bad. It wasn't really good. It was just like but leaning a little bit more towards the rock side. Now, when the trailer for Fury of the Gods came out, I'm still kind of in that mindset, like the way that they did Shazam in the movies. Like I'm not dying to see it. I was never asking for it, but I noticed like, okay, it seems like they're kind of changing some stuff up. Like they had redesigned the suits, which No, I won't say that because it's kind of spoilery, maybe. But they have redesigned the suits a little bit, and it was like, okay, interesting. And then the trailer came out, and I'll admit that the trailer was fun. I liked it, and it got me not necessarily hype, but it was like, okay, this was a good trailer. But it still kind of felt like I feel like when I watch the movie, it's not gonna match the tone of this trailer because that's happened a few times to me in the past where like the trailer seems really dark and awesome and just like a really kind of good time, but then the movie it's much more it's much lighter in tone, and then it's like, well, it's and then like I just don't end up enjoying it as much. Like they did that with Iron Man 3. That Iron Man 3 trailer, bro. When it was again, it was like dark, it was heavy. It was like, bro, is he gonna die? You know, they had Ben Kingsley with the low key Tom Hardy Bane voice, like heroes. There was no such thing. I was like, oh my gosh. And like the music was dark, the music was heavy. The last shot of the trailer was him carrying the suit in the snow, no music. It's just him, and the only sound you hear are the footsteps in the snow and the wind howling. Oh, that's amazing. And then Dark Knight Rises, the very, very first teaser. It's Gordon in the hospital bed. It's all dark, and they're talking about like heavy shit, like oh man, like we try to bury evil, but it's coming back, and da 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 da. And then you get like quick flashes of Bane, and then you see Gotham City, the Gotham City skyline like crumbling and like falling down. And then like the last shot of that trailer, you see Batman. He's trying to put his hands up, but he can't. And like you see like this giant arm that takes up like 3/4 of the frame, and it's like, oh man, oh Batman, you need to get up out of here, man. You about to get your ankles broken by somebody, man. Like, because like Bane was up there, like walking up the stairs, like dun, 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 dun. Like he was walking like, what's that male hippo from Madagascar, where like he was just pushing everybody out the way with his shoulders, like not even looking at him, not even trying. It was kind of like that. I was like, oh man. And then the movie, it was kind of like that, but it was like, nah, like I need something that's more like it wasn't. It was kind of dark, I think, like narratively, but not like dark and heavy in the way that trailer was. So again, I'm tying this back to Shazam 2. That's the vibe I'm getting from the trailer. Like, yo, this looks dark. It looks like some heavy stuff is about to go down for our main characters, and like I like the song that they use, and again, like the tone and everything. But it's still kind of like I'm older now than like I have been in the past. I feel like I've learned a little bit now. Like I don't want to be like tricked. So I'm kind of like that. Like so, Shazam: Fear of the Gods overall. I'm like I might watch it if it comes out on HBO Max or something like that. But even in the trailer, like you had it's Alice's daughters, which okay, interesting characters to use, and I'm like okay, I like that because the concept of Atlas. I like a lot. It's just a man with the world on his shoulders. So like just that imagery is iconic. But then it's a little weird for me when I see that Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu are sisters and they're about to take on the Shazam family. It seems like both of them are amazing actors. I haven't seen them in a movie that I dislike. I've never seen a performance from them that I dislike, but this seems a little bit like Disney Channel original movie casting. It's like you just got like kind of two random people and said they're related. This is like in '84 when Pedro Pascal's Maxwell Lord character, right. His son was like Asian. I was like, I haven't seen the mom character, so maybe he's mixed or maybe he's adopted or something, or maybe it's just. It's a father-son relationship, but they're not really like father-son or something like that. I don't know. Like it just seems kind of when movies do that, it kind of takes me out of it because now I'm like, okay, I'm trying to figure out the logistics of this. I went on a whole rant. My bad, bro.
No, man. This is hashtag. This is the show. Man. This is the show, man. This is what I want to hear. Oh, the viewers want to hear this, man. The viewers want to hear what you just said because you're right. Because you have such a passion for this thing. That's why again, I tell to our viewers. I tell this to Nick all the time. If DC hired Nick tomorrow, and Marvel hired Nick tomorrow, I'm telling you, you guys would see some gourmet shit. Like you guys would see some top of the line shit. I'm telling you, no one knows this stuff more than Nick. When I have a question about stuff, I ask him. Nick has a whole like encyclopedia brain of like DC and Marvel stuff, and it's so impressive. I'm telling you again, DC, Marvel, you're listening to us, hire this man. This man knows his shit. I'm not even joking. I'm being 100%. When I first met Nick in college, I was like, wow, he knows so much. I learned so much from you when we saw Avengers or we saw Endgame or whatever or Black Panther or Black Adam whatever. I learned so much from you because you make me look at things differently. Like even with BVS, as you know, I wasn't a big BVS fan before I met you. I met you, you go, nah, bro, Ultimate Cut, man, Ultimate Cut the way. And I'm like, all right, I'll watch it. And I was like, fuck, man, you're right. That's a way better cut because I saw more to the story. I saw more than that Snyder wanted to show in the storyline. So I swear, man, again, I bow down to you, my friend, because you know so much, and it always impresses me because I'm like, man, this guy knows his shit. Hire this man tomorrow.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm just a little nerd. That's all it is. I'm just a comic book nerd, but
it's the show,
yeah,
man.
like, but I'm like, with the whole like Shazam thing, it's like, it's just like, I don't know. It just seems, it's kind of too, like, I don't even know how to word it. Like, I don't want to say it's whack, but it seems very, very watered down from what I would want to see. You know what I mean? And also, like, Zachary Levi, he's a good actor in my opinion. I don't think he's necessarily right for the Billy Batson character because he also doesn't look like, or rather, he doesn't act like the Billy Batson actor.
Yeah.
So it's a disconnect for me there, and I'm kind of like, it's kind of weird for me too, because it's like I just all this magic shit that's going on, and like the city's about to be like ripped in half. Like, if I was Shazam, the first person I'm hitting up is Superman or like fucking anybody in the Justice League. Like maybe Batman because he's Batman, but it's like he's not on the top of my list, bro. Like you telling me a fucking dragon came through? Nah, man, where's the Justice League at? Because like if all the DC characters do coexist in the same universe, and there's a threat like that where literally the entire world is at risk, I feel like there's no reason for you like not to reach out to someone like Superman or Wonder Woman or the Flash or anything like that. And excuse me. You should reach out to them to like also it always, and I get like from a movie making stance, it's like, well, we do not have the money or the budget or like the scheduling and all that. We don't have like all the resources just to bring back Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck and Gal Gadot and Ezra Miller and Jason Momoa just for this movie and blah blah. It's like I get that, but it's always just so like weird to me, and the humor is just a little off. Like if I was gonna do a Shazam movie, I would do it just a little bit, differently. I would do something crazy. I would do something just totally different with it.
Yeah, dude. I'm with you on that. I remember seeing Shazam when it came out in 2019. I was in London during my semester abroad. I said, all right, I'm gonna watch this. I heard great things about it. People thought earlier it's amazing. It's so good. I was like, all right, this is like months after Aquaman. Aquaman made $1 billion. Like, oh, I like Aquaman a lot. I'll see this Shazam movie. Big Zach Levi fan. I remember seeing it, and when I first saw it, like, oh, this was pretty good. I liked it. But the more I thought about it, the more I had problems with it. I said, yeah, the suit looked really fake. Yeah, notice it's Zach Levi, but the suit looked very like overly buff. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it's not him, all the muscle. Like, you see Henry Cavill, you see him without the suit. He's huge. Like he's so muscular. Yeah, muscular. Yeah.
It looked like if you Photoshop fucking Andrew Garfield's like neck and head and put it on the Henry Cavill Man of Steel costume. So it's like he has like a narrow face, but these big ass, like wide ass shoulders, and that was another thing for like during the Shazam movie for me, because a lot of people were saying like it just looks like what you were just saying. It looks like he's in a muscle suit. It doesn't look realistic. And Zachary Levi was like, guys, this is me. I'm putting on muscle for the suit, and I'm like, bro, no one is saying you're not putting on muscle, but you're not. There's no possible way you're putting on that much muscle. Like he looks like he's like 100 pounds heavier, and that 100 pounds is just purely muscle, which physically it's impossible, man. Like if you're, let's say like I'm for with this. Like let's say I have like 6 months to do a movie scene, but like in this scene I need to be like muscular and like lean and all like ripped out. You're not gonna gain 50 pounds of just straight lean muscle in that time period unless it's like PEDs or whatever. Like it's gonna be like muscle and water weight and fat. So it's like, and like he even like had like the little social media post, and he's like, see guys, I am working out. It's like, yeah, but you're still not as big as the costume is, bro. So then I remember it was sometime I think after the movie came out, he made another social media post like, yeah guys, okay, yes, there's a little bit of muscle padding in the suit. I didn't get that big, but that's what I was saying. I was just working out, but it's just a little extra padding in the suit. I'm like, no, you were saying you were that big, bro. So that also like leading into the first Shazam, it was just kind of like, I don't know, man, because it's like it just seemed kind of weird to me. Like, just say what's actually going on.
Yeah, and trust me, I completely agree. No disrespect, Levi, but yeah, it's like, yeah, we know it's not you. Like again, I mean, again, look at The Rock. I mean, The Rock didn't wear much padding at all in his Black Adam outfit, and it showed. Okay, yeah, that's The Rock is huge. He's a fucking monster.
Yeah.
So like, um, it's yeah, I had the same issue with that, and again, I'll talk about it later. But yes, I had the same issue with it. And I was like, wait, it was good, but it was just kind of missing something, and some of the humor didn't really work for me. But I did love the whole family story of it. But again, this movie's been out for 4 years. Yeah, 4 years now. But again, the ending I thought was kind of just like didn't feel just like the whole Shazam family didn't feel earned. It didn't feel earned whatsoever. And I get it's a whole
Right.
family story. You gotta give them the powers. I get it, move the story forward. But it just didn't really feel. It just didn't really feel like earned. And again, I love Mark Strong as an actor. He was doing his best as a villain in that movie. Again, he's good. He plays a good menacing, but like I see him in villains all the time in movies. I'm like, oh, he's gonna be a villain, like in Kick Ass or Sherlock Holmes and other
Oh yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Like he's typecasted as the villain, so I'm like, oh, he's gonna be the bad guy. Which again, I
Okay,
respect
I
that.
got a question for you. I got a question for you
But
then, because you just this popped up in my head just now. If you're gonna cast Mark Strong as a DC hero, who would you get him as?
didn't he play one in fucking Green Lantern?
Oh, kind of, because he was, yeah, he played Sinestro in Green Lantern, but Sinestro in the comics, that's the Lex Luthor to his Superman. But
Right,
he
right.
in the comics, like he started off as a Green Lantern and then he became a Yellow Lantern, and it was a whole thing.
As a hero, I think he's a bit too old now to play a hero. I think again, this is again. I know I'll say he typecast as a villain, but I'm telling you, he could play a really good Lex Luthor. Like I can see. I mean, again, yes,
He
he's
could do
bald. But
Lex.
I don't know he's bald. I'm not trying, I'm not trying to
That's
do a
the
bald
only reason
typecast
why
him.
he could do Lex. That's it. That's the only reason why.
But like but he's like, even in, Kick-Ass, he's very good as playing like a really greedy, like schmucky business guy. And I feel like, okay, you know what, that's
Uh-huh.
good for he's very menacing as a villain. Again, I had no problem with him as a villain in Shazam. I think the movie had its like kind of issues here and there. I still enjoyed it for what it was, but wasn't like anything
Yeah.
like amazing. But good question, man. I don't know. I don't know if I cast him as a hero. I'll cast him either maybe as a villain or like I don't know. Good question. What about you? Who would you cast him as?
As a, I don't know. That's a good question, because I'm
Yeah.
like, dang,
Hey,
I
your
can
turn.
like who as a hero, like I like if it was gonna be another villain, I could potentially see him as like a Mr. Freeze type of
Oh, I like
character.
that. I like that a lot, actually. Yeah, I fuck with
But
that.
he hero though, I don't know. That's the interesting one. I'm even kind of thinking, I don't like. I kind of want to say like Zeus maybe, because I think he has like the voice and the demeanor. He doesn't. I don't think he has like the physique necessarily, and obviously like you don't want to see like a bald Zeus, but it's like something
Yeah.
about his kind of like persona and the that dark kind of energy that he has. Like that would be interesting to see. Like, oh, this kind of not 100% benevolent, seemingly all powerful character is the leader of the gods, and then it's like what kind of. I think that could be interesting, especially if like they had like Wonder Woman actually meet Zeus, her father, and like he is this kind of like scary, almost villainous version of Zeus. If they did it like that, I feel like that could be cool. I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's a tough one. Maybe. Oh, you know what? Maybe even if they were gonna do a more serious version of King Shark, I could see him doing like the voice for that
Okay.
character. I could kind of
Okay.
see that.
I can see that. Someone called my mind a few minutes ago. I was gonna say something. No, Mr. Freeze would have been cool. Mr. Freeze. And he could have been Dr. Fate almost too. He could have been a cool Dr. Fate from
Oh,
Black Adam. You know what I'm saying? Like
he could. Yeah,
he's tall.
he
But
could have because the helmet of fate, it's a spirit that lives in there. That's what gives him his
yeah.
powers. So he could legit play that spirit Naboo. I think that, if I hope
Oh
I'm pronouncing
shit.
that right, like that would be dope. And then you have it where like you literally cast him as a cosmic deity, essentially. Because he's one of like the cosmic lords of order or something like that. And then yeah, oh yeah, that's a good. Oh, okay, Doug. I see you. No, that was a really really good one.
I'm kind of throwing it out there. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, I saw Shazam last night. I took Zeta and her friends. They're going to the Taylor Swift concert last night, so I was kind of like waiting for them. And so I went to the movies, saw Shazam. And going in, I was like, oh man, like I was like, uh-oh. I went going in. I heard like really not so good things, and I was invited to a screening of it, a press screening of it last week. I had work to do. I was like, I'm just too tired to go. So I heard like not so good things about it, and I was like, oh crap, I'm not surprised. So I went in yesterday with low expectations. You know, I went in and the theater was empty. Like I saw it at like 5:30 p.m. Theater was empty. Like there was people here and there, a few kids in the front row, and I was like, this isn't a good sign. Like the movie, no, there's no one in this theater. And I
Right.
go, oh. And I was watching it. In the first 10 minutes, I said, yeah, I'm not liking this. I said, uh-oh. And
Damn, 10
it brought
minutes
me
in?
back. 10 minutes in, dude, I was like, I'm not really feeling this right now. Because you'll see what I'm talking about. It is like, it's very, the first 10 minutes, if you do watch it, you're like, okay, I guess. But it was very, it just didn't feel like, okay, that's my out of theater reaction last night on TikTok. I said, the plot of this movie felt like a Wonder Woman plot than a Shazam plot.
Oh man.
Yeah, with like Greek goddesses and again the daughters and Greek mythology and Athens and stuff. And I said, yeah, this could have been a Wonder Woman plot or subplot than a Shazam plot. And it just in the writing you see too, you're just like, yeah. So I was like, all right. So anyway, so I'm like now 30 minutes in, and there's some parts it wanted me back. But to your point, the tone, this movie to me, how I felt, like you said it perfectly. The first one a little bit, the trailer actually was. It felt like a Disney Channel movie. It felt
Mm-hmm.
very Disney Channel. I felt like the humor was not landing. People in the theater was not the five people that were in that theater. I heard no one
Oh,
laughing. I heard no
that's
one
not good,
laughing.
bro.
I heard no one. I heard no one laughing, and I chuckled like I was like, huh, here and there, but I didn't like laugh. And I was like, oh no. And I'm watching. I'm trying to give it a props, give it props. And the visual effects were very impressive. I'm not gonna lie, and I felt the acting was pretty good for the most part. Again, I give all the props to Lucy Liu, Helen Mirren, and Rachel Ziegler, who played all the daughters. And I was like, okay, they're doing their best, but the material that was given to them just did not work. It just did not work. Again, the dialogue was very corny and very hokey. The jokes were not landing. It was very childish. Like the jokes were targeted to children in a lot of ways,
Oh no.
but even the children weren't laughing. That's an
That's
issue.
that's bad, bro. Because kids will laugh at
I mean,
anything, bro.
yeah,
I
the
gave
kids were
I
like,
gave my
yeah,
nephew a high five the other day, and he just started cracking up. You feel me? So it's like, bro, if you're
yeah,
writing jokes and kids aren't laughing,
dude,
that's
kids were
no
like,
bueno.
no bueno, right? And the kid, dude, I'm telling you, the kids were laughing more in the trailers for the Ninja Turtle reboot than this movie. And I said,
Oh
oh, bro,
no.
these kids were laughing at the Oppenheimer trailer before me instead of this.
Oh, that's the Oppenheimer trailer, dude.
I'm kidding.
Wait, what?
I'm totally kidding. I'm totally kidding. No,
I'm like,
Oppenheimer showed before the thing, but no, I'm totally kidding. But they were laughing at trailers more than the movie
man,
itself.
he's about to have me run out this house. I was like, no,
I'm kidding. I'm
the
totally
Oppenheimer
kidding.
trailer.
They were like,
Bro,
oh,
that okay?
oh, oh
You
my
got it.
god.
That was funny. I buy it too because like that's here's the thing though. That's just like how much the Shazam franchise to me like kind of just doesn't really. It seems
Clicked.
like it doesn't really like matter because it
Yeah.
seems like okay we're gonna like we want to do our own DC universe because Marvel is really successful right now because they just had Avengers. So okay, bet. We just had the Dark Knight Rises. Let's do Man of Steel, and then boom, they do Man of Steel. Okay, bet.
Yeah.
Let's try to fast track it to Justice League. So then BVS, and then Suicide Squad, and then Wonder Woman, and then we have like Justice League. So it seemed like there was like still a plan with the first few movies, and then after that, it kind of seemed like let's just put out like whatever random movies, and that's just I think that's like a symptom of the larger issue I have with what DC and Warner Brothers were doing. And so I think like maybe I'm not being totally fair because like with Shazam 2, I'm kind of like I'm not. You guys keep putting out movies that we're not asking for. Obviously, this was before James Gunn's announcement of the DCU, but I'm like, bro, I do not want to
Yeah.
see a Harley Quinn movie. I do not want to see a Shazam movie. Like I want to like do the main like seven members of the league, and then from there, that's when you start like splitting off and doing the other like kind of lesser known characters because it was just mind boggling to me. Like y'all are prioritizing those guys over like over Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, and like Martian Manhunter, the Flash, and everything like that. Like man,
Yeah,
heck no, I
it's
cannot
not a
co-sign
priority.
that.
Yeah, no, right. That's not a priority. And I like what you said there. It's not a priority. They should be focusing on this. Again, the Shazam movie was made in 2021 or filmed in 2021. Before Discovery bought Warner Brothers, before James Gunn was announced to be DC Studios head. And I'm just, in this movie I'm watching. I'm like, this movie was definitely made in the old era of DC Warner Brothers, pre James Gunn, pre Warner Brothers Discovery, and it shows.
Uh-huh.
And I was watching this, and I'm like, I give Zach Levi a lot of props because he's really trying. He's really trying, and I respect that. But I think another show I had too is that the Billy Batson kid actor is maybe 5%. He's barely in it, and it's mostly a Shazam movie. You see the kids more. You see the other kids more in their non-Shazam form than you see actually Billy Batson. Which the kid who's playing Billy Batson is a pretty good actor, and the kid who's playing Freddy, who was in the It movies, also a good actor as well. But like, I just feel like this movie and also who's our boy, the wizard,
Jimon Hansu. Oh, that was another thing. When he was in the trailer for part 2, it was kind of like, oh, y'all are just doing like whatever the fuck. And I just feel like I feel like they keep wasting Jimon Hansu as an actor in these movies. He's so fucking cool. Matter of fact, just trivia, he was in that Keanu Reeves Constantine movie.
Oh, that's right, he was.
He was in that. He was Papa Midnight, and like when I was watching, I was like, "Oh dang, I didn't know he was in it like that." But bro, I'm telling you, get Jimon Hansu, you get him to play Martian Manhunter, either him or Harry Lennox. I say, either or. I'm a little biased, but yeah, bro, that'd be dope, man. You got it, like, bro, Jimon Hansu, you gotta give him a big character.
Dude, I also give Jimon Hansu a lot of props for this new Shazam movie that came out this weekend. He really also too. He's really trying his best. And I think you can tell he's like, I'm over this shit. Like, I'm over this shit because like he's really trying, man. He really is. I gave him, Helen Mirren, Lucy Liu, Rachel Ziegler, and Zach Levi the props of this movie because you can tell they're really trying. Like, they're really trying to have a good time with this movie. But the writing does not work. The structure felt really flat. The jokes were not landing. And like I said, the visual effects were cool, but the movie I wasn't interested. Like it was another generic action superhero movie that didn't change anything. It didn't bring anything new to the table. It was very kind of like copy and paste of like a bit of the first Shazam with like other DC movies that we've seen before. And like I said, that the plot of this movie felt more like a Black Adam or Wonder Woman plot than a Shazam movie plot. Again, the writing does not work. It's just I was disappointed going out. I was like, yeah, this movie sucked. I was like, that sucked. But I was very disappointed with it because I was like, I wanted more, and this didn't give it to me. And like I said, also too, I think another issue too is that everyone knows come next year, James Gunn's DC gonna reboot mostly everything. So guess what? We probably won't see Shazam anymore or see Zach Levi anymore, which sucks. But it is what it is. It is what it is. It's unfortunate. So I gave this a 5 out of 10. Honestly, I'm being generous with that 5. If you ask me, I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. I'm very generous with that. There's 2 post-credit scenes, as you already know. Again, no spoilers to our audience. To our audience, if you're a big DC and a big Shazam fan, I would go see it. I would see it at a really, really early matinee or discount Tuesday for $5. But if I were you, I would personally rather just wait on HBO Max or a rental, whatever, because to me it just was it was a miss. It was a miss, and they tried really hard, but it just didn't work. It didn't feel like it was bringing anything new. It didn't feel like it didn't have like a unique soul to it. It just felt like, okay, another Shazam movie. All right, here we go. And like I said, the writing bothered me a lot, and I wish that they took more time with this or reinvented something with the Shazam character if they could. But with this, I was very disappointed. I did not like this at all. And like I said, I'm giving it a 5 out of 10 for Jimon Hansu, Lucy Liu, Helen Mirren, Zach Levi, Rachel Ziegler, because I really do think they were trying their best. It just, to me, was missing the charm. It was missing, like, it felt like a DC movie, but again, it felt more like a HBO Max, almost like a Disney Channel, like straight to video movie. I didn't feel like
it felt DC light, huh?
DC, yeah, DC Light, literally like DC Light, DC Zero, because it really like
DC Zero.
because
Oh,
it just
golly.
felt like they could have done more with it. And again, I think too, this movie had opening at $30 million. That's terrible. That's really bad. And that's half of what Black Adam made, and that's way less than the first Shazam made. And if you're trying to like get this character still relevant, this movie did not do that whatsoever. And the box office, but like I said too, it's the idea that everyone knows that James Gunn is rebooting the DC, and it's like, why invest in these characters when we know they're gonna be rebooted in a year or two? It's just like, why are we gonna invest our time and interest in these characters when we know this is gonna be gone? It sucks. Again, that cool Black Adam, post credit scene. You know, we're like, oh fuck yeah, bro, this is it,
Oh
man.
my
We're
God,
hyped.
bro.
And it's like we invested that time and energy and hype for that scene, but then it's like, now it's like, oh, just kidding. Again, it's like not happening. And now with Shazam, it's like, okay, you have a second movie because the movie was filmed way before new DC's heads came on board and a new owner of the company. But to me, I'm just like, no one cares as much anymore because we all know he's going to probably be going away or being recast or rebooted. So, like I said, I give it a 5 out of 10. I'm being generous with that 5. So I had somewhat expectations for this movie. I walked out saying, yeah, this ain't it, Chief.
Bro.
This ain't it, Chief.
That's too funny, bro. No, hey, well, to your Black Adam comment though, like, yeah, when he brought back when Henry Cavill Superman came back, I was so hyped for that scene that, like, had you caught me outside of the theater, I would have told you straight up, like, you know what, Dwayne Johnson needs to be the DC Kevin Feige, because it was like, bro, like, he did it. He did what no one else could do. Like, he finally brought back the Henry Cavill Superman. And he was saying all these ideas he had for the DC movies, like, yeah, we are gonna have like maybe like a Black Adam versus Superman scene, but that's not what the whole thing is gonna be about. It's just gonna be a moment in like a larger story. But what's funny is that he also used this is just chapter one in a larger DC universe, and it's interesting that James Gunn is also saying this is part of chapter one. I do kind of feel like I kind of wonder if maybe Zachary Levi's Shazam or Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam might come back though, because when Dwayne Johnson said, like, yeah, I'm not going to be in chapter one of this, da 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 da, like, he left it at that. He didn't say, like, I'm not going to be in it anymore, like, I'm out of the DCU. He said, I'm not going to be in chapter one. So I don't know if, like, it's legit 100% planned, like maybe he's going to be in like chapter 2 or 3 somewhere down the road, or if he's just kind of like, if he's just bluffing, like, I'm gone now, but like maybe I'll come back. But it kind of depends on you guys, and it depends on if I'm able to like kind of like finesse my way back in. But it's just kind of like, I don't know, something to think about.
Yeah, that's yeah. Like I said, I feel like I think you and I both had the same kind of like expectation for this movie, this Shazam movie, and yeah, it wasn't it. And again, unfortunately, that $30 million, that's a really bad return for them. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do next with what's next, the Flash. I hope the Flash has some kind of momentum with this.
Yeah, because we got Flash, Aquaman 2,
is the last one.
And then the Blue Beetle movie. I feel like the Blue Beetle movie, yeah, because I think, obviously I don't know, but I feel like the Blue Beetle movie is just going to be part of the DCU, because like I don't see why it wouldn't be at this point. Like, you made the Blue Beetle movie, and you made it at a time where it was kind of in this like limbo. Should it be in the DCEU or the DCU? Well, the DCEU, as we know, is already out. So just add like an end credit scene, or do like 80-hour line in there that lets you know, like, when you see Blue Beetle, it is just going to be part of the DCU. And that way you don't have another Batgirl situation where, hey guys, we finally finished Batgirl and it's ready to release, and then it just like, hey guys, we're actually not going to be showing you guys Batgirl, which means all of those people's all their hard work and effort, it was all for naught, basically. So I'm like, for the sake of everybody on Blue Beetle, like, I hope they continue the character in the DCU, because Blue Beetle's a fun character. Like, I feel like he's kind of like the DC Spider-Man in a way.
I heard a lot about him, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing the movie. Okay, so speaking of it, since we're on the topic now, to our next topic, this is something I think you and I both can discuss very in depth and lengthy. Is, again, for our listeners too, Nick is probably the biggest Superman fan I've ever met. And I'm telling you, this man has the really cool Man of Steel logo on his chest, tattooed. It is one of the coolest tattoos I've ever seen in my life. And this man wears it with pride, man, because Nick knows Superman more than anyone else. And that's a fact. Um, I think we both said this on episode number 2 or 3 of the podcast. We both said, listen, James Gunn is doing stuff, that's fine, but I don't want to see him direct everything. And it was announced this week, James Gunn will be directing. He was announced that he's going to write Superman Legacy months ago, whatever. Okay, that's fine. Writing's one thing, but directing's a different thing. And the other day, at the Shazam premiere, I guess this was kind of smart on their end because they knew that Shazam would probably get pretty dismal reviews as it's getting right now. They said, all right, cool, new headline. We're gonna have James Gunn direct a Superman movie. That to me was a very good, I think, either a PR or publicity move because they knew Shazam was probably getting some really reviews. So they said, all right, let's kind of throw them off the trail. Let's get a new thing going on. And so I was like, uh-oh. And that getting announced, he's going to do Superman Legacy. So I'll say it before, so I'll say it again. I am a James Gunn fan. I really do. I think he's a great filmmaker. I think he's a good storyteller. He knows how to balance characters very, very well. Superman, to me, this kind of bothers me for different reasons. For a few different reasons. One is that you're a studio head now. You're directing and writing your first movie as co-studio head. That is, sorry. That to me is like it's a lot of responsibility because now you're the studio head, you're the creative producer, director, writer. That's a lot of responsibility. That'd be very overwhelming for one person. And another thing too is that I don't know if his style will match a Superman movie. Personally, I don't want to see like the goofy, Guardians 2. What's your name? Taserface jokes and Superman. I don't want to see that. Like, I love the first Guardian. I really do. And I like Peacemaker. And I like Suicide Squad for what it was. I didn't love those movies, but I do love Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. I'm pumped Volume 3. I hope it delivers on all ends. But, Nick, I think, again, as someone who's a bigger Superman fan than I do, and again, we both love Man of Steel so much. What do you... Also, too, the plot apparently came out saying, oh, it's gonna be about his discovering his Kryptonian heritage. That was Man of Steel. That was Man of Steel.
That's true.
Man of Steel. So Nick, what do you think about this? Again, you're the Superman, expert in this podcast. What do you think about this news of James Gunn he's directing and writing and producing and being the studio head of his own Superman movie?
I feel like initially when it was announced that he was going to be the studio head, I was basically against it. I was like, it just seems like DC nabbed him up because he's a great filmmaker and like everybody loves his Guardian movies. So it's like, okay, bad. Like everybody likes him. Let's hire him and let's let him do the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker, like you just said. And then it was like, okay. And then it was weird because he was saying like, yeah, they just let me do whatever I wanted with these characters, and that always just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Like why? But and then the show's released and then it's announced, okay, bet he's gonna be the head of DCU now along with Peter Safran. And it was like the Suicide Squad guy, the Peacemaker guy, you know what I mean? Like it's like I don't know, man. I think I would have rather had like Dwayne Johnson or even David S. Goyer, because David S. Goyer had been working on all kinds of comic book movies and properties and stuff like that. So with Gunn, like initially I was like, I'm not feeling it, but then I was kind of the more I thought about it, the more I heard people talk about him. My opinion of him kind of changed because it's like, okay, like everything that I was hearing about this guy was like, he's really good at like characters, and all of his projects just have a lot of heart in them. So, and he was even saying like, yeah, obviously I'm going to do like Superman and Batman, but if, you got to tell a story about the little guy. So that's why I put like Polka Dot Man in it and Ratcatcher and stuff like that. And I was just hearing stuff like that from him. And it's like, okay, so he genuinely kind of cares about, like, as far as like film goes, like he cares about the humanity of all these people. Because I was rewatching the Suicide Squad, and yes, Polka Dot Man is a goofy character just in nature, bro. Polka Dot Man.
Yeah.
Bro, had you told me in 2013 after I seen Man of Steel, like, yeah, man, in the future, bro, there's gonna be a Suicide Squad movie with Idris Elba in it and the Polka Dot Man, bro. And I'd be like, man, shut the f up, bro. I don't believe none of that. But again, he takes a really goofy character and he gives him he makes him like relatable and sympathetic, and then it's kind of like, you know, you find yourself rooting for him. So I was like, okay, I'm picking up on that. And then, you know, I was hearing stuff like that about him a lot. So my opinion of him just kind of kept changing. It was like, okay, well, hopefully he's just kind of like in charge of the movies and he's not doing like too much, you know, because like you said, you've got all this other stuff you got to worry about, bro. And then it was like, okay, guys, here's the new DCU chapter 1, and the first one was Superman. So that, you know, I'm biased obviously, but since you're starting it off with Superman, you're starting it off basically the right way. So to me, I'm like, okay, maybe this James Gunn guy isn't that bad. And then, you know, later on it's announced, oh man, he's going to be writing it. I'm like, okay, seems like a bit much for you to do because you're in charge of all these movies now, but okay, sure. And it's like, you know, if he writes it, like, it's like, I kind of respect that because it's like, not only is this how I'm starting it off, but this is like, by me writing the Superman movie, I am setting the tone. This is my DCU. So I'm like, okay, I like that, because if I was going to be in charge of it, that's what I would do. I'm writing the Superman story, everything. I would make, dude, the whole fucking universe, the whole DC universe would revolve around Superman. Like, out of all of the movies, he would be the central character. You can get metaphorical with it. Like, he's the center of the universe, just like the sun, and he gets power from the sun and blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay, bet. And, but it was still kind of like, okay, well, hopefully he doesn't direct it. Cause again, you gotta keep an eye out. You gotta keep a watchful eye over all these properties. You can't be stretching yourself too thin, because then everything's going to fall apart. And as DC fans, we cannot afford everything to just be falling apart. That's what happened with the DCEU. As much as I love all those movies, as much as I love what Snyder was trying to do with it, you know, no one was like fucking with it because they were trying to course correct while they were starting it off. So it's like, okay, you guys need to just have a very clear idea of where you want to lead, of where you want to go, and then you just go there. You feel me? So then it was okay, well, hopefully he doesn't direct. And then it was announced like, yeah, I think I'm going to direct it too. And I was like, okay. So it was like, I'm a little nervous, but then he was, I was hearing some of the stuff that he wanted to do with it. Like, okay, I want my Superman to be in his like mid-20s. It's going to be focusing a little bit more on his life at the Daily Planet. I'm like, because of all the movies and stuff that I've seen from James Gunn, like I could see that just in and of itself. Like, okay, so it seems like he's really focusing on more on the humanity of the character, and to because my roommate was saying this the other day, bro. Like, it seems like James Gunn is going to be focusing more on the human aspects of Clark Kent instead of like the large scale spectacle, which is basically what Snyder was doing. Not saying there's anything wrong with how Snyder did it, but I do kind of see what he means. Like, Snyder was kind of focusing on like, look at these characters. They're basically gods walking around amongst us mortals. And that was cool. I would love a 10-hour cut of that type of Superman movie / Justice League movie. You feel me? There's nothing I would love more. But if you do want if you want audiences to really relate to this character, that because this arguably like underrated character, because a lot of people shit out Superman. A lot of people think that Superman is just super strong and he flies around and he doesn't do anything and there's like nothing special about him. But what they don't realize is like he is like a very special character. So I think when James Gunn is saying, I'm about to write this movie and I'm going to direct it, I'm hoping he hones in on what makes Superman so special and what makes him such even though he's an alien, what makes him such a human character. Because like I said, like, okay, he's going to be focusing on his life as Clark Kent. It's going to be it's going to delve into his Kryptonian heritage a little bit. Like, okay, bet I like that idea. I'm not trying to be that guy, but I'm like, I wrote a little Superman outline not too long ago, and it kind of dealt with similar things because like he was the younger Superman and it was dealing with him finding out more about Krypton. But that's besides the point. So it's that, and then he was saying the movie, the Superman is going to be released on his dad's birthday, and like Superman is a special character to James Gunn because that's a character / comic that he kind of shared with his dad. So he was telling the story about it, like, yeah, man, like me and my dad bonded over comics, and because I was having a rough time just kind of like relating to the kids when I was a kid, and my dad made an effort. Like, I walked downstairs one time and I saw my dad just reading a Superman comic just by himself. No one told him to read it. He just did it himself. And like, it's like, wow, if he, and when he's telling the story, it's like that's like a really like special, loving story. So if he can kind of take that, if he can take the essence of that memory and what he feels about Superman, and if he puts that in the movie, I think it's going to be really good. Hopefully, though, he doesn't get too stressed out or too like stretched out. Like hopefully it's not too much for him to handle. But like long story short, I was initially against him being this involved in the DCU movies, but the more I think about it, the more I'm basically coming around to it. Now, having said that, I don't necessarily want James Gunn to just do his own thing. Like you said, I don't want him to make it like it's really funny, like how Suicide Squad and Peacemaker was. Like I do want, it's like I kind of want a lighter version of like Man of Steel in a way. Like I want the action to be good, the costume to be good, the characters, the writing, all that stuff to be good. I don't want to see Trunks on the outside of the suit, bro. Like, dude, like James Gunn, if you're listening to this, do not put the red underwear on the outside of the suit, man. Please, I'm begging you. I will do anything, man. Like, yeah, like, and if there's a way you can like make it work where like it's technically not Trunks, but it kind of reminds you of that, but it still looks cool and it doesn't look weird, then okay, I'm on board with that. But I'm kind of nervous that James Gunn would do something like that because again, like kind of tends to lean into the humor a little bit more sometimes. But I was gonna say something, I totally forgot. But like I'm coming around to it, and I'm coming around to the idea of him directing and stuff like that. But I do hope I hope he doesn't go like too far. Like don't focus too much on the humor. Like focus on the humanity of everything. Make the action good. Make the costume cool, and just tell a good human story basically.
Yeah, and you know what's kind of like, I guess this is the same thing, but he kind of has experience working with Superman-ish to a degree, not so much with Suicide Squad. But remember, he produced, I think he wrote the treatment for that movie.
Brightburn?
Yes, thank you.
Yep.
Yes, remember mine. Brightburn. Yeah, Brightburn. Brightburn was something that was I thought was a good premise, not so good execution, but he does have experience with that character whatsoever to a degree. But I do. But you said absolutely where I think he's at. He knows how to bring character. He knows how to bring emotion out of characters. He knows how to bring emotion. Make characters they don't know likable. Everyone knows Superman, but to your point, with Polka Dot Man or even Guardians of the Galaxy, who the hell were they when 2014 came out? Who were those guys? And I think what he, to your point exactly, is that he knows how to bring emotion and give characters purpose and meaning, as well as like kind of exploring their humanity, who they are as people, who they are to society, whether it's again the Guardians of the Galaxy, a tree, a raccoon, a smuggler, a really angry destroyer, or a daughter who's also a warrior who's under her dad's really awful kind of reign as a villain, which is Gamora. So I do think he's gonna bring something different to the table for sure. My fear was I don't want to see him do kind of like the Guardians of the Galaxy, the Suicide Squad kind of, or Peacemaker kind of humor, because that does not match Superman. I would not fuck with that. No, and speaking of which, look who joined us. Look who joined us, everybody. Our also fellow co-host and founder of the show, Mr. Joel Kindlen. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Sorry, I had D&D and I was busy killing a unicorn, and
as one does.
Yes, as one does in a fantasy world. You know what I mean? Gotta kill a unicorn, make money. You know what I'm saying? They're pretty, but they're also expensive. So so yes. Hi guys, I'm here. What the fuck are y'all talking about?
He's talking about how James Gunn he's going to be directing Superman. Now he's going to be, remember he wrote it. He's going to be he's going to be the studio head, the writer, producer, and director. And me and Nick both said there's never been a filmmaker who also is the studio head making a movie. And
if he pulls it off though, if he's doing all of this stuff and the script is good and the movie's good, the direction's good, then I'll be like, okay, you know what? I'll fucks with it. I'm down.
yeah.
So here's my thing. I think he is creative. There's pros and cons to this because I came in and I heard you talking about how he can bring character out and stuff like that. That's great. We don't know where he wants to start because it doesn't seem like they want to do the origin stories again. So we're at some point of either after their origin or in the middle of their life. So they could have gone through several things through this life, which really is interesting. And now we have several different variations of Superman. Now, which one is he going to bring in? You know what I mean? Because we have so many Superman comics, and a lot of here's the thing: through a lot of stories for comic books heroes, especially DC, there are a lot of similar things. But at certain points, things change depending on the writer of the comic books. Now, I just want to know which one he wants to bring to be the Superman. And two, like you're saying, I don't want to see that Guardians of the Galaxy, Suicide Squad joking, because this is Superman. Like, you can have some humor, but I don't want to see a lot of humor for Superman.
So we said
he's not a dark person, but he is very. The reason why Superman and Batman are best friends is because they take a lot of things seriously, just in different contexts.
Yeah.
So Superman is so concerned with the world, and so is Batman. They're very similar, and people think they're night and day. In reality, they're really the same person. You know, Batman and Superman. It's just the way they go about saving people is different, and of course they have to, because Superman, he could punch a hole clean through about 100 people with just a poke of his finger. You know what I mean? And with Batman, he's human, so he has to literally break your arm to figure out what the fuck you're hiding from him. So
catch you an eighth in Gotham, you're done.
Look, he's a vigilante, and for a long time, a lot of the cops did not like Batman. So of course he has to hurt them because one, cops are either coming or some more goons are coming. So he has to work fast. So breaking the arm's just gonna get straight to the answers. Anyways, I don't want to see that humor. I don't want to see anything that resembles the Marvel universe at all, because he's very creative. He's very good with characters, but when it comes to overall story and like a lot of like the world, there are a lot of similarities between the two. When he did Suicide Squad and when he did, Guardians, he has that saying. Every director has a style, and you can recognize it through their works. There's something similar to it. With him, he takes comedy and he also takes it sort of lightheartedness. I don't want to see that lightheartedness with Superman. I want to see him be what
you want to see him let loose a little bit.
I want to see him be a 90s cop dad. And you guys know what I'm talking about. A 90s cop's dad, where he's there for you and very he's there, but he's not all willy-nilly. He's not the crazy character. He's very serious and stern, but you could joke with him a bit because he's understanding. But he's, again, at the end of the day, he's a cop. That's who he is. So he has to show, he has to be a model, a model person for kids and people around the world. And that's what Superman is. And so if James Gunn can do that, I'll love the movie. But his style of movie directing is what concerns me when it comes to this. You know what I mean? Where it's like, I can like it, but I don't want to like it. I want to fucking love it. You have to get this character right.
I'm with that.
Yeah, I hope so, man. I think to what Nick said a few minutes ago too is that again, he's not only writing, producing, directing, casting, he's also a studio head now. And to Nick's point too, you don't want to be stretched too thin. 'Cause, I mean, look, to give an example, look at Kevin Feige, who's the president of Marvel Studios. He's stretched too thin. I think he knew he had full control up until I don't know Endgame, and after that, with so many shows, it's been more quantity over than quality. You don't want to be stretched too thin.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
I want to see is a Dave Filoni thing when it comes to Star
Oh
Wars.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
Dave
Oh,
Filoni
okay.
kills it. I
and
know
John
you
Favreau too,
guys.
and John
I
Favreau too.
know. Yeah, John Favreau, he kills it. He works with Dave Filoni as well when it comes to
They're the
like.
boys.
I'm pretty sure the Mandalorian as well. He's been
Yep, that's the
helping
show.
out with that. But I know you guys don't watch the animated series on Disney Plus or the Star Wars shows like Clone Wars, Bad Batch, which shame on you guys. You guys really should because that should be fucking fire. Okay, season 2 of Bad Batch is out right now. Okay, they're killing it. Anyways, Dave Filoni works on like all that, and he's so creative with it. And thank God that Disney is not like being so like hard pressed on it because he does so well. But like what I mean, he works on a lot of things for Star Wars, but he doesn't stretch himself too thin. I think
Right.
that's what people like. You want to work on a lot of projects, but you have to sort of make a sacrifice of like, okay, like I'm cool with just being in this role for it, or a role or two when it comes to these things. And I think Dave Filoni does that really well because he can be on multiple Star Wars projects, but he's still able to be like, all right, here's how we're gonna do it, and not be like, fuck, I gotta run to this meeting, and then I gotta run to this meeting, and then I gotta fucking, write some stuff, and like he's not doing that. He's doing really well when it
Yeah.
comes to Star Wars because The Mandalorian is still super loved, and the story, the lore. Sadly, by the way, I don't want to spoil things when it comes to The Mandalorian, but fuck, there's certain things. The new movies lore fuck sucks. Anyways, like he's still working with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like and it's doing really well, and Pedro Pascal, man, oh my god,
Kill it.
killing it,
Kill it.
everything he
He's
does.
killing it, man.
Killing it.
Yeah, but I understand your guys' concern where it's like it's like me, I know all of us, like if we had a thing, like if we are a part of the DC universe or whatever, like where we could do some stuff, I would not want to be in these main things. I wouldn't mind being a
No.
writer and creative director when it comes to things, but overall seer of multiple projects, you know what I mean? Like making sure like deadlines and all this other stuff, and like I would just want to be a writer and director so that way I can help steer it into the right direction when it comes to
Yeah.
but but good on him for having this love for comic books and cinemas. I think is
You
very
know what? Yeah, that's a
promising,
good point.
but like again, you don't want to stretch yourself too thin because at some point you're going to burn yourself out. And we already, a lot of people don't notice, but we for the last 2 years we have been watching so many directors and writers just burned out, just pushing whatever they can. And that's another part of why we have so many nostalgia movies when we don't fucking need them.
Yeah.
Fucking hate a lot of these nostalgia movies. A lot of them, a majority of them are really fucking bad. Really fucking bad. But people are like, my childhood.
Yeah. I think. Yeah. I think we'll be looking forward to this movie when it comes out. Again, there have been no casting yet whatsoever. I think we all have. I think us three, we all have faith in James Gunn. I feel like he can definitely pull something off. It's gonna be how he pulls it off. Wait, again, first off, who we cast, how he structures the story, and how much does he really love Superman? Like you said, Nick, it's coming out on his dad's birthday. Like he must have some connection to the character that he's taking on directing, writing, and producing in studio head. And also, what to give him credit to, I respect this 100% too. If this movie fails, it's all on him. You can't say, "Oh, the studio
Yeah.
fucked me." You're the studio. Oh, the producers fucked me. You're the producer. oh, the
Yeah.
director changed his vision, whatever. No, bro,
You're the
you are
you
everything. So if
oversee everything. You have
everything,
power. So this is
He must
truly
feel
all
very
on
confident in
him.
himself then.
that's what I
He
said. If he's
really does, and
Son, bro,
I'm
he knows that. He
that
knows like, okay, it's all on me. So I'm like, you know what? That's why I'm kind of like, okay, I think I can fool with this guy a little bit. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like I
yeah,
respect like how much he's putting on himself because it feels like he's saying like I'm putting this all on me because I'm trying to let y'all know I'm gonna put my best foot forward. I'm gonna do my absolute best. Like this is how seriously I'm taking this. Because he was even saying like, well, as far as like one of like the themes of the Superman movie is he wanted Superman to kind of be this. He wanted it to be like Superman has these old school ideals of what's right and what's wrong, but he has these old school ideals in a more modern world. So I'm like, okay, interesting. Because like, I feel like that's gonna kind of add to the humanity, and like I think that is gonna feel a whole lot like the general idea of Superman that we've gotten from the comics, where it's like, you know, it ties into the whole Boy Scout thing. So I'm like, if he can do that, because we haven't really seen the whole Boy Scout aspect of his character really since, like, as far as movies go, since like maybe like the Brandon Routh / Christopher Reeve movies. So it would be cool to see that in this more modern universe and stuff like that, and in a larger DC universe. I would, yeah, I got faith. I got faith in him, but
yeah.
it's my bedtime, y'all. I got the milk in the microwave right now. I'm gonna have to. I'm about to head off. I got the warm milk and the lemon tea right there. Yeah, with some honey in it. Yeah.
Oh man, hope you feel better. I know you're feeling a little hoarse today, and you were feeling not so great. So hope you feel better, my
Yeah.
man.
Thank you, bro.
Again, man, thanks for always being one of the best co-hosts, bro. Yeah, it's always fun having you on. It's always fun doing the show with you boys. But no, thank you, Nick, man. Again, also, yeah, but feel better for sure. Feel better. That's more
Thank
important.
you, man.
And we'll
Appreciate
see
it.
you
I
next
love
time, my
you
friend.
here, man. Yes, sir. Love you guys. Peace.
I love you, brother.
Too, bro. This is
Peace.
Peace.
Oh man. But yeah, I also think another thing too, Joe, is like I think Nick would agree with us on this too, is that I don't want to see James Gunn direct every movie now in the
no,
DC.
yeah. I was with you guys from the very beginning when we talked.
I don't
We
want.
had concern where he's, stretching himself to then and directing every single thing. Where it's like, here's the thing. I'm glad you have this passion to put the DC universe on a good course, and a good direction.
Yeah,
I'm glad because me and you have been talking about this for so
a
many years.
long time, man.
Dude, so many failures and just so many like, oh my god, I'm so upset. You know my passion for DC.
Oh
I
yeah,
love
huge.
DC comics more than anything. They're a lot better than Marvel. If you fucking think I'm wrong, go fucking. Anyways, uh, no, because comic book wise, like DC is so much better when it comes to such compelling stories. Like I felt like DC, the characters are a bit more humane. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
It,
yeah. I agree.
it's, it's- yeah, besides Spider-Man, Spider-Man
On the
and DC are
outlier.
about level. They're about the same level. Because honestly, Spider-Man, man, that guy goes through so much. Anyways,
So much shit. Yeah, dude. We'll see.
when it comes to mortality and power and
Hmm.
responsibilities and everything that comes with it. So it's like I have half a hope. I'll say that I have half a hope
Yeah.
because there's a lot of things that can go wrong with this. I don't want to be like everything's fixed. Movies and shows are all gonna be good. I'm not gonna say it because
No.
I can't. I'm gonna have half a hope. I'm gonna be like, there is a possibility that this can go well, but we need to steer in the right direction. Good directors, good writers, you know what I mean, and good actors for this, and a good way to lay out their stories. You know what I mean? Like I don't want this. I don't want this. Like I'm okay with them not doing their like, oh, here's my origin story, but I don't want. How can I explain this? I don't want a Batman I cannot recognize.
Yeah. No,
You know what I mean?
don't worry.
Like
I follow you.
if like anyone can play Batman, but is he truly Batman? You know what I mean? Like anyone can can do a Sylvester Stallone voice, but if they do his fucking biography, I want a real Sylvester Stallone. Like I want to feel this character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Writing and directing can get you so fucking far, but the actors have to be on point too. Everyone has to be of a singular mind. You know what I mean? They have to want this, and that's such a big concern now because we had good characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universes, but like, what's a character I could give a shit less? Mantis. I didn't give a fuck about her character. She didn't really feel real for a
Yeah.
majority of what she was in. You know what I mean? Um, and so on and
Yeah.
so forth. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
It's
I just I need all these characters to hit, and I don't want to just be watching it and be like, "This is okay." I don't want to like it. I don't want to hate it. I want to fucking love it.
yeah, man. That's really that's again. That's where it's gonna be interesting what he does. Going forward. Like I said, man, you're not again. Like I said, it's the idea of like this is gonna be this is where you're gonna introduce yourself as who you are as a DC film. I mean, not introduce yourself as well, but as a studio head, it's your Superman movie is gonna be the first movie in your new universe. So you gotta really gotta go out with a bang. Okay, start with a bang because you are now introducing the world to who you are as a studio head. You're Superman, and the first movie in your new DC franchise. So it's gotta land, and it comes out in 2025. So you got a few years to go on. We'll see, but again, I agree with you said. I usually prefer DC more than Marvel as well. So it's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen next. But anyway, speaking of non DC stuff, this is kind of cool actually. I think you'll probably be on the same page with me. I hope. So this is again a movie that I think you and I both grew up watching all the time. Big part of our childhood. Big Paramount Nickelodeon movie. They're making a Good Burger 2, but they're smart about it. They're putting it on Paramount Plus and not theaters. I am hyped for this movie. I don't know about you. Sign me up. Sign me up. I love Keaton and Kel so much. I mean, again, we grew up watching Keaton and Kel, and and then of course Good Burger. These two dudes are just likable guys, just very, very charming guys as well. And they were on Fallon the other day, and the huge announcement was, "We're doing it on Paramount Plus. We're doing Good Burger 2." I don't know about you, but I am so hyped for this because I love these guys so much. Are you as hyped as I am? I hope.
No,
No, oh, no.
nah. Here,
Oh no.
we've talked about this. I'm so exhausted from
More
nostalgic
sequels.
movies. I love the characters. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? I'm so tired of it though. It's like it's how long since we had Good Burger? Like early 2000,
No, man. I think it's 97.
97, bro.
Yeah,
Like
97.
it's
Yeah, I was
over
born.
20 years. What
Yeah.
are they gonna do? I don't want to see Kel's character still working at Good Burger, and then like, you know what I mean? Like I love the characters, I really do, but it's like it's so far gone at this point where it's like they're a little too old to do it. You know what I mean? Like what are the characters up to at this point? You have to do really well for that, you know? Like the characters can keep their sort of, but they have to grow up. I'm so tired of watching these movies of these characters and they're the same exact person after so fucking long. You know what I mean? Like me, you are still very similar to how we were when we were younger, but we went
Oh
through a
yeah.
lot of changes. You know
Oh,
what
for
I
sure, of
mean?
course.
But the
Absolutely.
problem with movies is that like if we did Home Alone with Macaulay Culkin, his character would still be the exact same shitty kid he was.
Oh, he'll be a grown
You
ass
know what
man.
I mean?
He'll be a grown ass man.
Yeah, he'll be a grown ass man, but still a shitty person. You know what I mean? Like it with movies, with a lot of movies and universes, is that the characters pause as soon as the movie's done, and they don't stop. And so when we get the older versions, they're staying person. like Dumb and Dumber. And I understand that because it's, again, Dumb and Dumber. They're playing dumb characters, but it's like even dumb people change. And I'm tired of the nostalgia. Like, I really am. But it's like, a lot of these nostalgia factor movies are the same movie, just now they're older. You know what I mean? Like I saw the trailer for E.T. and then that I haven't seen shit since because no one gives a shit. You know what I mean? He lives
The
in the
reboot,
same
whatever.
house that he grew up in, and now he has kids.
The
Like,
reboot,
who the
forever.
fuck cares? Why are you still there? Why did you buy your parents' house? It's not like they made it. It's not like we built this house up, but yeah. It's like you wanted to stay there your whole fucking life and have kids there. Like, Jesus Christ! Like, does anyone still have that mentality? I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. I kind of have. I feel like
Uh,
I want to, but I want to see. To your point, I want to see the characters progress in their lives. I want to see them do the same thing. Maybe they own the good burger
they
now.
progress,
If they progress,
if they progress.
if right,
But
if they
like,
progress,
here's the
right.
thing: no one has such a like. How many McDonald's workers stayed at McDonald's?
We know quite a few from high school.
Well, yeah, that's different. Yeah, I mean, like they have love for their job so much that they stayed
You
at
want to stay
McDonald's.
and work below
Yeah, I
minimum
mean,
wage, right? Right.
Either Kel's character owns Good Burger, or he's still working the cash register and shit, and he's just working a Good Burger. You know what I mean? Like, no offense
Welcome to
to the
Good Burger,
character.
home the
I love the movie. Everyone does. It's a great movie. We all
classic.
grew up on it. But it's like, damn, I'm so tired of these fucking movies. When's something new? Dude, like we're getting the second part of this movie, the fourth part. Fuck, dude, it's fucking new. I'm so tired of seeing these same fucking characters. Like, I love a lot of these characters. I don't want to see them anymore because it's like, dude, when are we getting something new? When are we gonna, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to. In 10 years, I don't want them. I don't want to see them reboot fucking Marvel.
But you know they will. Disney loves the
Eventually, they
Marvel.
will, but it's like, dude, like here's the thing. I'll give Star Wars is that they changed a lot of the characters with Rey and Finn. It got fucked with their second movie.
Yeah,
It's fucking dog.
yeah.
But
There was no plan. There was no plan for those. We all know there was
no,
no
there was a
plan.
plan. There was a plan. So with JJ, he wanted to set it in stone and get it moving, and then he wanted to see the creativity of the next director. He was like, I don't want to have sole factor in this. I want someone who has a different vision than me and like change it up in a good way. But the second director, I forget his name, Knives Out, what's his name?
Oh, Ryan Johnson.
Ryan Johnson followed fan saying and sadly production, you know, and he was like, I'll make something new. And then people bitched about his shit because his shit was really bad. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? He was supposed
that
to
was
progress the characters and made this really long chase scene that took weeks slash months. Random Asian girl, random love, weird love between Ray and Kylo when in reality they're cousins. It, even yeah. But back to what I was saying is that like it's the same people. I'm tired of it. I don't want to keep watching this shit. You know what I mean?
and
That's why I
it's the
was so
sequels.
excited to for A Quiet Place when that first came out. Like, dude, I was so
Yeah,
excited for that, and you got me the pre-screen tickets, and like, I love that because that was new, that was fresh,
it's fresh.
that was different, that was creative, that was adding new variations to film. Where when the deaf daughter came, the sounds disappeared. Like that was adding to cinematography universe, just the techniques and how you do it. That's adding to it. These fucking nostalgic movies aren't adding to shit. They're not adding to shit. I don't give a fuck about these movies. I really fucking don't. I really don't. I'm so tired of it. How many years is it of nostalgia movies have we been doing? How many years at this point? There's nothing fucking new. Nothing new. Nothing I'm excited for. You're watching trailers, Nick's watching trailers, and you guys are getting excited. I'm not getting excited. I'm not like, oh my god, this fucking movie looks amazing. I'm just like, ugh, why are you bringing that back? It's 20 plus years since Good Burger came out. 20 plus. I don't give a fuck at this point. I love the movie. I don't give a fuck what the characters are doing.
Yeah, I'm trying to look right now at my upcoming list I'm looking forward to. I'm trying to think right now. Except for
I have no movies that are coming out where I'm just like,
I can't.
Besides the D&D movie, and even I've been there's so many trailers. I'm
the show
not
way too
excited
much.
for it.
They show way too much.
Way too much. Not excited for it either. As a D&D fan, by the way, that just came from D&D.
Speaking of D&D, by the way, I want to plug this out here, maybe for some potential sponsorship down the road. If you're looking to see D&D early, this is pretty cool. So to our listeners, today, if you were an Amazon Prime member, you could have seen D&D the movie early, which is again really cool. If you see it 2 weeks before it comes out, which was really cool.
I could see it right now. What?
It was today. So if you were a Amazon Prime.
Why didn't you tell me this?
I put it on our TikTok. You watch our TikTok. I maybe have any production on TikTok.
Motherfucker, I haven't been on TikTok. I've been working. I'm not on social media.
This is your company. I'm kidding. You
gotta tell me these things.
You're in good luck. Wait, hey, guess what? You're in good luck. You know why? They're having a second screening next Sunday at 2 p.m. Having a second screening at 2 p.m. at your local theater. So everyone listening, if you missed today's screening, you're working.
No, I don't have money. It's all going towards rent and shit. I'm struggling, my God.
So there was one today. Amazon Prime had hosted a screening through D&D, which is really cool. We still got to pay for it. But anyway, they're having beer and luck. They're having, to our listeners, there's 2 more screenings. There's going to be one next Sunday, March 26th at 2 p.m. at all Regals, AMC, Cinemark, whatever your local theater is, 2 p.m. March 26th. And if you can't make that one either, no worries. There'll be a third fan screening, which is really cool. Also at your local cinemas at AMC, Regal, Fandango, Harkins, or Cinemark, whatever, or Alamo, whatever your local theater is. That will be Wednesday, March 29th at 7 p.m. That's 2 days before the movie comes out, which again, is still pretty cool if you ask me. So, if you missed today's screening, hey, no big deal. You're in luck. There's gonna be 2 more. Again, March 26th, 2 p.m. at all your local movie theaters, as well the fan event. The fan event screening will be March 29th at 7 p.m. Again, go on Fandango, AMC theaters, Atom tickets, whatever you use for your tickets. You go on there, and there should be seats available. Again, this isn't a sponsor or paid ad. I'm just trying to throw it out there for our listeners who might be want to see movies early or see the D&D movie early, or huge D&D fans or players like Joel is. So again,
by the way, D&D, what's up, you guys? We talk about the company, big fan for years, been running games. I'm not the DM, I'm more the player, but you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Come on, you're right. Critical Role, I love y'all. Holla at your boy.
Actually, I'm actually working on something through Critical Role. I can't really say what it is, but I give those guys a lot. I give those guys a lot of props for what they do. It's those guys can talk for longer than us, and hours, and they're playing D&D. And from what I've seen from their footage, that they're so committed, and I really admire what they do, because it's keeping that professionalism, but also doing it for hours and hours is, again, I salute, because it shows how much this game means to them, but how much they are so invested in it. It's really cool. So yeah, Critical Role, shout out to you guys, man. I give you guys a lot of props for your enthusiasm of D&D. So yeah,
D&D is great, man. Yeah, for
I was
sure.
gonna say
Yeah.
too. There's one thing I wanted to talk about. Well, well, again, I wanted to bring my John Wick 4 review tonight, but I might say that for next week's episode because the movie comes out when we do our new episode this week for John Wick 4. I'll give my review then because I fucking love that movie so much. Um, and yeah, I'll save that for now. What else too? And also, I mean, this was kind of cool too that for some, yeah, I think you might appreciate this. This is kind of cool. Tarantino was announced his actually last movie, believe it or not, and he said he's going to do 10 movies, and that's it. That's it. And he's doing his last one, and apparently it's going to be about this movie critic who lived in LA in the 70s, and how she really stood by her opinion. She fought with like studios, she fought with other producers, like she really said her mind about these movies. And I'm like, wow, this must be up Tarantino's alley because he can write some fucking killer dialogue for this. Let me see why I got the article up right now. But yeah, so it's called The Movie Critic. And let me see. And you know what? For his last movie, go out with the bang, right? Go out with the bang. And people are saying, no, he's gonna like do a few more movies. And I'm like, no, I think he's pretty set on doing one last one. But as a fan of his, I really wish he was doing a lot of like Pulp Fiction or kind of like Reservoir Dogs kind of movie. Um, but yeah, so I have it right here. So it's called The Movie Critic. He said, "This is my last movie, and that's it." And they might be directing this fall, which is pretty quick for him. So it's about being how secret he is with his scripts and story. It's 70s LA. Yeah, so it's about a female movie critic in the 70s, and her name is Pauline Kael or Keel. I don't want to pronounce her name incorrectly, but she was known for her pugnacious fights with editors as well as filmmakers. And apparently, in the 70s, she had a brief tenure working as a consultant for Paramount. And so she just, again, apparently she loved to like argue with editors and filmmakers. But she apparently she has like just she saw movies differently than anyone else. And it's kind of how Tarantino is as a filmmaker, as we all know, with Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs and Django Unchained and Hollywood, Hateful Eight, Kill Bill of all movies. So to your defense, to your argument a few minutes ago, you're right. We're not seeing new movies anymore. But as you and I, who are both movie fanatics and also movie critics now, I can appreciate Tarantino making a movie about a movie critic as his last movie, especially one about a critic who argued with filmmakers and editors, because I feel like that's up our alley a lot.
Like, you mean like Tarantino's like quitting movies after this?
He says he's going to be writing books after this. Again, I don't. He says he wants to do 10 movies, and that's it. I have all his books. I listen to his podcast, which is the Video Archives. Great podcast, by the way. You can listen to it on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. It's really, really good. And he says he's going to do 10 movies, and that's the plan. He's going to maybe write some stuff afterwards, maybe write his books or here and there. But his last movie is going to be about called Movie Critic, which honestly, man, you know me, how much I love Tarantino. This sounds great. I feel like he's going to make it.
Yeah.
I sure do. I feel like he's going to make this movie wild because there's no Tarantino movie that doesn't have any kind of like crazy violence or crazy or feet. And I think that's what or feet. As you saw his last movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, you can definitely see all the feet in that movie. But in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, he again, I don't want to spoil this movie, I haven't seen it yet, but that movie is very different than his other movies. And then you see the very end, and it's fucking Tarantino to the max. It's literally like it's full on him in his style. So I feel like he's gonna bring something like that, like in Hollywood, to this movie. I don't know, maybe she fights with an editor or fights with the filmmaker or does something crazy, like almost like Pulp Fiction in a way. Sign me up. And again, he makes original stuff, and I give him so much credit because no matter what it is, it's original and it's always something fresh, and it's always something that we can like talk about for like months or weeks or even years. So that's the story that I wanted to talk about today on the show because, again, to our listeners, as Joel said too, I am one of the biggest Tarantino fans ever. Like I get all his books. I admire the guy for how his mind works and his love for movies and some of the cool characters he gave us, whether it's Vince Vega and Jules from Pulp Fiction, Cliff Booth and Rick Dalton from his last movie Hollywood. So, or again, my favorite movie of his is Django, and how Jimmy Fox just goes off with Christoph Waltz as Charles. What's his name? King Schultz. King Schultz. Yeah, King Schultz is the dentist. So I don't know. For you and I both talk about, we don't want to see the same thing over and over again. I hope Tarantino delivers on his last movie because, hey, sign me up. I hope he knocks it out of the park because he's one of my favorite filmmakers, if not my favorite filmmaker. So, yeah, man, we'll see.
Yeah, no,
We'll see.
definitely. I agree.
We'll see, man. We'll see, man. So, it's it's not nothing confirmed set in stone yet, but all the reports were reporting this, and I hope it's something that we can get excited for, because you never know with Tarantino. He always brings something new. So yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. But like I said, if you do want to hear my quick 4-minute review of John Wick Chapter 4, I guess no pun intended. 4, they'll be on. You can be on our YouTube page, which is youtube.com/Midway Avenue Productions, or like I said, look us on TikTok. I'm doing a lot more TikToks, a lot more quick reviews, not so much reactions, but more like movie updates, TV show updates, news updates, quick reactions, or out of the theater reactions, or movie reviews. So again, that's TikTok at Midway Avenue Productions. So yeah, if you want to see my quick 4-minute review, John Wick 4, they'll be there. And I'll do my probably full in-depth one on next week's show when before the movie comes out. So look for it out there. Oh man, D&D movie. Hope it does well.
Yeah.
Hope it does well. Have faith.
Are we plugging ourselves now?
No. We do our one-on-ones of the week.
Oh, okay. Yeah, our 1-in-1s. Holy shit. Okay.
Explain what our one-on-ones are, as always.
Right. So for new listeners that just decided to hop on a random episode of this lovely podcast of ours, sorry, yawning. I've been getting used to sleeping at night because I got work now. Yeah, I'm professional.
Hey, first off, to our listeners, I want to shout out Joel real quick. Joel has been looking for a job for a while now. I want to give, again, man, I'm very proud of you. Joel landed a job at a really cool customer service firm. So again, man, props to you, man. We're very proud of you here.
Thank you so much. I'm proud of myself and
you should
just trying to stay afloat, and just I'm playing a lot of things out. But you guys don't need to worry about that. It's nothing big. Anyways, thank you so much. But the other guy. Anyways, our 1-in-1s are when me and Doug. It's usually just me and Doug at the end. Anyways, unless we have a special guest. But our 1-in-1s are when me and him decide to pick one movie or one show that we want to recommend you that we feel is underappreciated. And we feel like more people need to see it. So we're going to recommend it on our show, and hopefully you guys add them to your list, even if it takes you a few years to, watch it. Because I have recommended Doug some shit. Doug has recommended me some shit, and it took us a few years to watch it. You know what I'm saying? For me, it was Wolf of Wall Street. You know what I mean? I thought that was amazing. It wasn't as hyped about as they were, but, it took me a few years. For Doug, it took a Place Beyond the Pines, and we've talked about this on earlier podcast episodes. This fucker took so fucking long to watch that shit, and he regretted it. He regretted it.
To this day, man, I still regret it.
Right? So, yeah. That is 1-in-1s. Do you want to start, or do you want me to start?
After you, my friend, please.
I'll start. I haven't been watching a lot of movies recent, nor have I been watching shows. All right. A show that's, I'm pretty sure, done now on Netflix is is Good Girls, and it's an interesting show. I really like the concept. It's very new. It was very new, and really good actors, real good story. So it's about these three women that, for they have life is very difficult, and they're friends, and one of them works at a supermarket, so they were like, we're gonna rob it, and so they did. By the way, this is all episode one shit, so don't be like, you ruined it. So they did, and it turns out that a gang was money laundering through that store, and
Oh
so
shit.
the gang finds these three women and was like, you work for us now. And so these three women, who are all mothers, who are all not really criminals, you know what I mean? Who are just trying to survive through life and stay afloat, start working for criminals and start trying to, I don't want to ruin the shit. Just try to figure their way out to pay back these criminals, but also quick buck on the side for themselves. So it's really interesting, really great. I like really good actors. I forget their names, but the women are really good. And it's just overall just really good. And for the women, if you're just like, this is whatever, probably male's fan service, it's really not. It tackles some difficult things. To get y'all more interested, Matthew Lillard is in it. Gorgeous,
Great actor.
and who we all love has so if that should be enough for y'all. So that is Good Girls. It's on Netflix. All however many seasons they have. I'm only on season 2. I watch it slowly. Let's see. Uh I believe all Riddick. Pitch Black, Riddick,
Oh yeah.
whatever. Vin Diesel is all on Netflix
Yeah.
now. Yeah,
Oh, no way.
all 3 movies are all on Netflix now. And well, me and you grew up watching that. I'm pretty
Huge.
sure I'm
Oh
the
yeah.
one that put you on it too. Actually, yeah,
You
uh,
put me, yeah. I think you did when we were like in like 7th, 8th grade. I remember that. Yeah, for sure.
yeah. And those are interesting fantasy movies. It's a Vin Diesel movie. Yes, he young and older Vin Diesel as he's gone through, but it's really good character, really dope. So it's about this space criminal. We don't know what he's really done. Hold on, sorry. Uh, but he is very notorious and very sought after, and so the ship that he's being transported on has a criminal that is captured, crashes on a planet, and so he breaks out, and the survivors are like, "Look, you help us get off, and we won't turn you in." And he's like, "All right, cool," and so he starts helping them. It's a lot of death,
It's
but
brutal.
really good. It's brutal. It can be very brutal, but really good. And like, if you like sci-fi movies that are very like dark, not super dark, but like literally, it gets really dark.
Yeah, literally. It's called Pitch Black for a
uh,
reason.
yeah, but it's really cool, really interesting the way he is as a character, and just the development throughout the story. I think it's really cool. So definitely, they're all on Netflix. So highly suggest all of them. The first one is Pitch Black, and then the others are just called Riddick. You can find them on Netflix. They were just added not too long ago. So go give them a watch. It's a really great series, movie series. So yeah,
Yeah, I like that third one a lot, actually. I like that
the
the most
third
recent
one was a
one.
really good one. Yeah. That was what back
Very
in.
good. Uh, and I think Batista's in that third one, right?
Yeah, he is.
Oh
Yeah,
shit! And also, what's her name? I'm blanking on her name right now. She plays Bo-Katan and Mandalorian's
Oh
also in that movie.
yeah.
Katie Sackhoff, man, who plays
I've
Bo-Katan.
been trying to recognize where she was from, Bo-Katan. I was like, man, I've seen
Bo-Katan,
this
man,
chick.
from
She's so attractive.
Mandalorian.
I
Oh,
don't know why, but
beautiful.
I find her very beautiful, man. She does a
Very
lot of other
beautiful.
movies as well. I've seen her, and she's very beautiful. Yes. So yeah, no, great actors, man. Great overall actors. Some actors, not gonna lie, but yeah, it's there. You'll see big faces that you recognize in some of these early movies. You know, sort of like seeing like a young Paul Rudd or young,
Yeah.
Paul Walker and shit. I don't know why I'm on
Yeah.
Paul's right now, but you know
All
what
the
I'm saying.
Pauls.
All the Pauls. Any Paul movie, any movie with
Paul
Pauls
Blart.
in it. Paul Blart, yeah.
What?
so,
Um,
so
you know
yeah,
what?
so now it's your turn.
I'm gonna copy you actually, because the movie that was on Netflix now, I think it's a very, very underrated movie that you and I saw years ago. And on Netflix, this new Netflix this week came out almost 10 years ago. No, came out 10 years ago. It's an action comedy called Two Guns with Mark Wahlberg
Oh,
and Denzel
that was a
Washington.
great one. Yeah, and that
This movie's
well in
so
theaters.
underrated. I
It
remember
was
you and I saw it
so
opening weekend.
underrated.
So underrated. It's so this movie has everything. It's like has a a great mystery to it. It's funny as hell, and the action's really good. And I don't want to spoil too much of the twist, but or like the reveal, whatever. But it's like there are two criminals basically. They're all back in this small town, and both of them are working for the government. One's working for one's working for like the DEA, and I think the other one's working for like naval intelligence, whatever. But they both don't know that. But they were both assigned to become these guys, to become their partner in crime, to become criminal partners, whatever. And they robbed this bank, and they were both set up. But then they both figured out like they're both working for like the government, and they had no idea. And now the government's after them, and they robbed from the wrong person. I want to say who they robbed from, but they robbed from the wrong person. And now there's a huge. The cartel's after them, like the government's after them, and now they must work together to like find out who like did them dirty. And they can't stand each other now because now they know that their true identity. But it's really funny. And Denzel and Mark Wahlberg are having so much fun in this movie. They have some really funny one-liners here and there, and really funny dialogue. Yeah, it's very underrated. It came out 2013. It's new on Netflix this week. It's called Two Guns, Denzel and Mark Wahlberg. It's a very, 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 very fun action movie. Again, Joel and I saw it opening weekend, and we loved it because it was like, it was so much fun. It was good
Denzel and Mark
humor,
Wahlberg have good
chemistry.
chemistry.
They really do.
So it works really well. They did really good on it.
It looks really well. It's super, super funny. It's super funny. Again, the action's really good. So yeah, Two Guns on Netflix, like the Riddick movies were, as Joel mentioned. And for my show this week, that's a good question. I feel like I've been watching kind of the same stuff on TV. Um, I got a show I can recommend. If you're a big Office Space fan like I am, or if you like kind of raunchy, nerdy kind of humor. It's a show called Silicon Valley on HBO Max. It's one of my all-time favorite shows. It has people like Kumail Nanjiani before he blew up as a big actor. Um, TJ Miller before he blew up as an actor as well. He's kind of like still kind of the comedian guy. Thomas Middleditch, as well as Martin Starr, who's kind of like blew up as a like, child actor, but now kind of just like now as like adult actor. It's about if you know Mike Judge, who did Idiocracy and Office Space and King of the Hill is also his. It's about these guys who work in Silicon Valley in California. They work in the tech industry, but however they're trying to build this like software algorithm for their like a company around a software algorithm regarding music and music pitches, whatever. Again, I think that's what the app was called, Pied Piper. But it's so funny. It's very nerdy, but the humor is very raunchy. A lot of f bombs, smoking, drinking, stuff like that. But they're all like very, very, very smart guys. And TJ Miller plays like their landlord slash kind of like investor in their company, and it's super funny. There's like 6 good seasons. The first 4 are hilarious. 5 and 6 are pretty good too, but the first 4 are like so funny. I love that show so much. Yeah, it's called Silicon Valley. Again, very nerdy. It's kind of like the movie The Internship a little bit, but like has way better writing, if you ask me. Again, love The Internship. I love Vince Vaughn. I love Owen Wilson, but the Silicon Valley is kind of like more of an adult version of more grown up version of The Internship as well. But it's super super funny. Again, 6 good seasons. If you're a Mike Judge fan, as I am, it's really really funny. So yeah, my show this week is going to be Silicon Valley. And my movie this week is going to be Two Guns, which I hope you both. I highly recommend both of them because they're super good content, and both of them are very entertaining. Yeah, I think that's my one-on-one for the week, my friend. Do you want to close us out as you always do?
You already plugged yourself, I guess.
Yeah, I did.
I have an Instagram now that you guys can follow.
There we go.
It's the OG Cuban Rican, basically my Twitch handle as well. So you can go there. We have to add my Twitch to a link tree, by the way.
I didn't. Oh, sir.
You did? Oh,
yeah, yes, sir.
Buddy. So my Twitch is
right
in the link tree as well. Yeah. So my Instagram and my Twitch are on the link tree. So if you guys just don't want to search up my name, they're both on the link tree. I've been streaming. I haven't posted on the Instagram yet, but I will post eventually when I'm feeling more confident. Because, I haven't really had much to post about personally when it comes to myself. I do probably plan it to mainly be like probably clips from my streams and me gaming. We'll see. I haven't really done much gaming wise to like post on it, but yeah, the OG Cuban Rink in the link tree, both of my Instagram and Twitch. So yeah. All right, let's close this out. Thank you for joining us on this verbal journey. Sorry. Thank you for joining us on this verbal journey of rambling, deep and not so deep conversations, complaints, and just overall good times, opinions. I hope you join us again on this journey every time we post an episode. We really do have a giant passion for films, entertainment industry, and overall just, the film and TV shows. And so we really want to talk to you guys about this and just talk through everything, whether it's new or old. And hopefully we can either broaden your horizon, and give you guys new ideas of things, or give you guys something to talk about or complain about, and you guys can direct that towards us. Again, we're very, very thankful for the listeners that we have. So yeah, my name's Joel. Our co-host Nick, who's already gone to bed, that old fuck, and Doug here, all really appreciate it. We hope to see you guys next week. All right, have a good night, or a good morning, or a good day at work. Whenever you listen to us, hope you're having a good time.
What's the Truman Show thing? He goes, "Good morning, Truman." He goes, "In case I don't see you, good evening, good afternoon, good evening, and good night."
Yes.
That's what it is.
So, thank you guys. Again, yeah, it's been a pleasure. Hopefully you join us again next week.